so I just brought this wood in here. I'm gonna build a flat deck for my other Nissan, not this one. This one won't be ready for a while, so I'm just gonna put it on my old one that was rear-ended, that is no longer insurable. And I'm just gonna use it off-road to get some firewood. So it has no box on it. So we're gonna make a quick flat deck box for it, just so I can haul some firewood with it. So these are 12-foot long pieces here, so I'm gonna cut them in half, and that'll be the length of the box. Then I got these 4x4s from the yard, and those will go widthways of the truck, and the 2x8s will rest on top. So I'm gonna cut that up now, and then I'm gonna bring the truck in. Okay, so I got the boards cut. I am going for the fastest flat deck build ever, basically. I'm not going for looks or anything. This truck's just going to be used in the bush. It's just going to be used on my lake here in front of my house to get firewood. So the only purpose of this flat deck is to haul firewood on. So that's what I'm going for here. So these are 2x8s. They're 7 inches wide. And I have, how many do I have here? I have 10 of them, so it's a 70-inch wide deck pretty much. Pretty close to it. I went a bit wider than the truck just so it's basically as wide as possible, and it kind of lines up right here with the fuel, so the fuel fill up, so I'll be able to bolt that on there. And so yeah, so I'm gonna cut these 4x4s to length. I'm gonna bolt it onto the truck. Then I'm gonna screw these boards down. So I'm gonna get that done, and I'll be back. Okay, I got the 4x4s cut, and I put the 2x8s back on. I left about a 2-inch gap there for movement, because when the truck tilts and stuff, I don't want it rubbing. And then I'm gonna line up the back end completely square and straight. So what I did too is I marked the 4x4 the middle of it, and then I lined it up to that middle mark of the back of the truck, and then I squared them. I measured diagonally both ways, make sure it was nice and square, and she seemed to line up perfect. So I'm gonna screw these boards down, and I think for now, just for quickness, I'm just gonna build my sides off the 4x4s. So the cutouts would be neater, and then putting a faceplate would give it more support. But I'll do that down the road if I think my sides are getting weak, because I'm gonna have my sides here, and then I'm gonna have a brace going from one side to the other anyway, so that will help strengthen it too. And honestly, the wood is mostly jack pine, so there's not going to be a whole bunch of weight really on the sides, because the jack pine stacks so nice and kind of grips each other with the bark. So I'm going to get this screwed down and then start working on the sides. Okay, so I stopped there last night. I'm back at it here. I didn't have my level, and I have to cut this out here to mount that gas tank filler. It's just going to be too low. It'll just be too hard to pour gas into it, like, because I have to use a jerry can most likely for this truck since I can't go on the road. So I'm going to mount it a bit higher. So I'm going to cut this out here and see what I come out with, and then I'm going to continue on these sides. That is 30 inches above the deck, so they're pretty high sides. Like I said, this truck's just strictly for wood. So my plan is to put 30-inch sides on it, and then I'm gonna do a little wood grill in front of the window and the back, kind of spaced out a bit, just to protect it. Most logs I get are at least 10 inches in diameter, around that big of trees anyway, so there's nothing really small, just the tops. So I'm going to get on those sides, and then I will give you guys an update here. Okay, so I got it all completed now. The sides are all on. So what I did is I put the first horizontal board right on the floor. That way I could screw it to the floor and the vertical supports. And it made the sides really strong. Like shakes the whole truck. They're really strong. They doesn't even move. So that shouldn't break. That should hold up. I would like to go 4 boards high horizontally, but I only had enough wood to do 3, so I just spaced it out accordingly. Oh, if it's a problem, I'm just gonna add more vertical supports because I have lots of short pieces of wood I could do that with. This total build cost me $0. I had all this wood and I had all the screws already, and all this wood was actually already at the house when we bought it, so I never ever paid for this wood. So it worked out good. And then the gas tank here, I raised it a little bit there. Should be able to pour that down with a jerry can easily. And then on top, I just put a 1x6 there, and you can hardly even tell that the gas is raised there because I put a longer board so I could screw down both ends, and it kind of curved over it and flattened it down. So that should work good. Should be able to haul quite a bit of wood in here. Not quite a cord of wood. Depends how high I stack it above the rails, but as it sits, it'd be just under a cord. But it'll be a lot easier to get wood now. I've been just using the skidoo and the sleigh. So I'm gonna go out and get a load of wood tomorrow. Probably tape some of that because I'm gonna be pulling a bunch of trees out of the bush with the truck. And then I'll bucket up on the lake. So subscribe, and thanks for watching. And here's the deck, pretty much loaded with wood. Holds quite a bit more wood than just the regular box that used to be on the truck. So that will do it for today. I'm pretty happy with it. There's still enough clearance there. We just go on the lake, so should work. Might have to put a 1x6 there. But this is all pretty wet wood too, so it's the